Get them! Oh. What the? Get them! Oh.
The door won't budge.
Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us.
I've said everything I know.
Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Can't catch a mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Bye. So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. There's something in the pocket. The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far. Budge. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something.
What? I don't have all day.
Some unusual creatures. And they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately, not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilled for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes, make him beg for mercy.
Seems like he was a fisherman by the name of Lewis. He had a gun and pursued Albert after he fled the house.
Lewis it is, then. What do you know of him?
Turns out you were right. He's an Innsmouther.
Nah. Those filthy scum have done it now. When I'm through with them, they will rue the day they dared lay a finger on a Throgmorton. Bring me that dirtbag, Lewis. He and I are due a reckoning. Do these...
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Oh, yeah. Hey, got a spare bullet, fella?
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over, and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Throck. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day. I've seen some unsettling.
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea.
And
if it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, remember, better to be a coward and live.
Bye.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouthers' bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the Carpenters who control most of the city's underworld, The Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest, have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
I won't tell him. Everyone seems to agree there's been an outbreak of madness around these parts. I'm inclined to believe you fell victim to it too. Plus, that seems heartless to tear. That said, the port's still closed.
Hide here, I guess. Don't have...
I'll make something up to tell Throgmorton.
Thank you again, sir.
Just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross the Throgmortons. Justice, bittersweet as it is, shall be served. It's rare for a newcomer to make himself so useful. Thank you.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Gay to think a newcomer barely off the boat, but I digress. Remind me.
I think I'm going mad, Mr. Throgmorton. I see things, visions, and I needed to stop. I was drawn here, or guided, or I don't know. But I believe the source of this madness is here, in Oakmont.
You're not wrong, Mr. Reed. An inexplicable hysteria. I funded an expedition to explore recent geological...
geological expedition.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As above, so...
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of...
Do you think your son was killed because the expedition...
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week that...
It does sound...
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on.
If I'm going to look into this,
I'll give you the address of the expedition.
that's all you can...
Let me be clear, Reed.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more...
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all... When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Oldbrook.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, if I'll also include a fair advance. The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood. Oh.